How you going, people? We are live. Probably going to have some problems tonight. Probably going to be a good show, regardless. I've got PJ coming on, but I sent him the wrong link, I believe, to start off with. I might be wrong. But so it's just me for the start. Just let me check my phone. I'll be on in 2 minutes. So PJ will be on in 2 minutes. On top of that, I got notified. You are scheduled to be live. Top of that, we've got Nick Patterson coming on. He sent me a message before. Sorry. He is going to, and it's great because I've wanted to get him on the show as well. In Mentone on the 19th of the 4th, 5 p.m., he's going to be hosting it's not him, but he's passed it on, but he's going to be part of that. So the person that is promoting it, I'm proud to be hosting this community safety forum on behalf of two of my mates, Nick Patterson and Daniel Jones. On the evening, you will learn an array of practical tips and tricks for protecting your home, as well as the opportunity to learn about and procure professional security services. Book here, and we'll put that up later. Actually, www.trybooking.com/D, capital L, capital F, capital H, capital L. So it's not a big one. So Community Safety Forum in Mentone. So you can probably do a search for that as well. All right. Hey, we've got a few people on. 32 people on. Evening, what the fuckers. Did you miss the intro? It's going to be a long wait because Shane isn't coming on, unfortunately. He's actually still working in Cooktown, and he's not gonna make it. He was going to get a separate room in the building that they are working in, but they're still working. So it's going to be till 9 p.m. that they finish, and he's going to be stuffed. So he's going to be probably doing a 12-hour shift like I just did. I've got a new gig, not going to say where, obviously for obvious reasons. And did 2 12-hour days. So did a 12-hour day gig yesterday and 12 hours today. So probably should have had left it till 9 p.m. because I had to get an Uber, get home. And how's the fucking gall of Mr. fucking Albanese saying use public transport, fucking use a roof rack, etc. We'll talk about that in a minute when PJ comes on. But I live Westway and the Werribee train is down. So instead of taking me 30 minutes, 25 minutes to get to work by train or the nearest station, it now takes me an hour and 10 minutes because the replacement buses. So you've got trains. It's got to be maintained. Who knows what they're doing, and it has to be done. But you think maybe because he's telling us to take public transport that maybe they delay it. And you're like, oh, well, that's going to be a bit of a cost because they've got to put people on hold and so on. Well, if you can spend $20 million on an ad telling us that we got to blow our tires up, make sure that they're full of fucking wind like he is, and take your roof rack off because that's going to make a difference with the amount of petrol that you waste. And what's the other one? Oh, weight. So if you've got weight, like just come on, people, look after each other and don't hoard petrol. As soon as he said don't hoard petrol, I was like, I'm going to get a fucking jerry can from Bunnings. I told my son, I go, can you drive me to Bunnings? And he's looking at me all funny. And I'm like, yeah, I want to get a jerry can because Albanese said don't get a jerry can. So therefore I'm getting one. And he's like, my son, of course, just thinks I'm a nut. But seems like there's a lot of other nuts out there as well, just like with the toilet paper, because all of the jerry cans in Altona in Bunnings was sold out. So they just had the little ones. I'm like, yeah, yep. Everyone's just doing the opposite of whatever Albanese says. You're a few minutes late. Yep, you're going to have to stand in the naughty corner, Anna. PJ's coming on. He should be another 5 minutes, whatever. Unfortunately, Wayne is not coming on, but big bonus. We've got Nick Patterson coming on at around 8:30. So there's a few things I want to ask him because I've wanted to ask him to come back on the show anyway. So he's actually contacted me because I just promoted his gig that he's going to have on in Mentone. And we'll promote that again when he comes on. And I saw a video of him, but it just seems so bizarre and so humbling, or what a humble person he is, that he basically didn't mention it the 2 times he was on. But I believe I've got to clarify it because it's just so nuts that he never mentioned it on the 2 times he was on. But he's been overseas saving children like the guy in The Sound of Freedom. So I watched this clip and I wanted to ask him about it, and I was going to do some research. But so it's going to be interesting because they're just going to be off the cuff questions, because I'm going to ask him how much, not what is true, but like, did I imagine you talking about that? And you did not talk about that at all. Anyway, I'm just repeating myself. Okay. Nah, trams get fined every minute that they're late. So if anything, that's probably more to do with it. But that's trains, you mean, or trams? But also they probably can't keep up with the demand, considering the trains weren't even ready when they got the new ones going. Yep, that's true, Bess. Yes, Rachel. But Tanya said they had to spend the $20 million because of the misinformation. Yeah, I've seen that clip. It's like she goes off on a tangent saying, well, we've had to spend the $20 million because of misinformation. But it's like that $20 million. You know what? I'm going to play a guy who ranted about this. And he does a lot of stuff for the homeless, and he's angry. So let's watch this.
What a sad day it is today. I normally stay very clear of all this kind of stuff. I've got large platforms and you're told stay out of political stuff, and I always do. But it gets to the point where you say enough's enough. I'm an Australian. I was born in this lovely country, and what I have continually seen here over the last few years is nothing but a disgrace. Our Prime Minister, for those around the world that tune into my page, Anthony Albanese, he's just come out with a $20 million ad, a $20 million ad from our taxpayers' money to talk about the petrol and all that kind of stuff. Now, I left school in year 9. I'm no rocket scientist, but I fail to understand how, Mr. Prime Minister, you couldn't have contacted every news crew, your team, and every news channel and media and all that stuff and put something up on your page to say that I'm going to hold a press conference tonight or whenever that we would all probably still tune into and walk away going, what are you doing? And it would have gone all around Australia and back 10 times over. Instead, your and your great team's great idea is to spend $20 million on this ad. We're living in a housing crisis. We're living in a cost of living crisis. But this is where I've now said enough's enough. I'm going to say something because it does affect me. A lot of you know I'm a Heart Kids ambassador, meaning my son had open heart surgery. Heart Kids Australia doesn't even get a grant from the government. Do you know how many families in Australia have to go through this on a daily basis, watch their child struggle and fight for their life, and how difficult it is for them as Australians to survive, give up their job to be there for their children? And you know how much $20 million could have done for these families? You know how much $20 million could do for the people that I go around every day mowing lawns for, helping out in our communities, in the Australian communities that are struggling? You see them all on my videos. How many homeless people there are in Australia, but don't even start on the farmers that are the backbone to our country. And there's thousands more people and things and whatnot. That money could have changed so many lives. Instead, you went and made an ad. For the first time in my life, I am coming on social media and saying something, and I don't care what anyone says. I think it's about time, on behalf of many people in Australia. How about hand in your badge and say, Prime Minister, out, because we need someone a lot better that's going to run our country and look after the Australian people.
Yeah, that's pretty. He's pretty much on point with everything that he just said there. Look at my big head, everybody. The stuff that nightmares are made of. Hey, how you going, Kyriakos? Stunner, are you here? Ooh, what's going on? There's dating going on in the chat group. Money laundering is going on. Jesus Christ, why not give $20 million worth of free petrol instead? There you fucking go. But exactly what he has said just makes total sense. Why doesn't he he called that fucking address to the nation. Why didn't he do something like that and just say, but it's absolute stupid stuff that we already know. And who's going to do it? Who's got time to pump up their tires, go to the servo, pump up their tires, take their roof? Who the fuck is going to take their roof rack off? Is he maybe saying that take off whatever you've got on the roof rack? But he was also saying that he's saying just to basically any unnecessary weight to take it out of your car. That's not going to make much of a difference. It really isn't. Actually, last night I took an Uber home as well because, like I said, so it's costing me fucking $40 there and back out of my wage at the moment because I'm not going to do an hour and 10. Probably maybe tomorrow I'll have a go at it on the way home. But fuck. So it's going to be apparently 10 days before the Werribee train line is back on. So I've got to wait till then. Yeah. But he, it's like that old, remember Jeff Kennett said, we all got to tighten our belts. Do you remember that when he was in power? And then he fucking gave all the politicians and himself a pay rise. And it's very convenient from Albanese to say, we've got to do this and that. He doesn't give a fuck. He's got a fucking limousine. He's got a chauffeur driver and he's out of touch. So, but his team of experts and consultants would have come up with that idea as well. But I think it's becoming more and more his downfall because people must just be shaking their heads going, is this guy serious? Like, is this, there's going to be those cookers. You know what? I'm calling the other side cookers now because they're just so fucking retarded at the moment that I don't, they're the cookers. They're the ones that are cooking shit up. If you believe that taking a roof rack off is going to make any difference at all, you're on another level. Sorry, I'm just no, that's not PJ. All right, I can now understand why Wayne, because I'm always looking at the comments and I'm trying to stop and highlight something, but Wayne doesn't look at the comments because it gets too hard. Talking and looking at the comments and answering everything. You're right, Rachel. The irony is that most people won't see the ad because they've switched off their TV. But you'd be surprised. There's still a lot of people in my close relatives that are still watching mainstream. My parents are as well. They're watching mainstream because they're not social media. They don't go on they go on the internet, but my dad does it to watch the Germans, the soccer, and German news and so on. There's a rally happening after Anzac Day in Canberra. Yeah, I saw that. I'll see if I can get some details up. Thanks, Lauren. Breaks my heart what the government is spending money on instead of the people. Yep. Yes, Anna, you're totally correct. And that guy, I don't know who he is. I don't know his name. He said he's got a large social media. I'd like to get him on the podcast, actually. I'd like to get a bunch of people on the podcast, and I'm working on that. I'd like to get Drew Pavlou and Peter Zokanaki, whatever his name is, the NDIS guys. I've sent them both messages. I don't know if they've received those messages because I'd love to have them on. They're copying a lot of shit, especially from Friendly Geordies and a bunch of others who are basically saying that these guys are discriminating against people with disabilities and so on. And it blows my mind because they're exposing fraud in the system. And from what I understand, no people that actually do have disabilities have been affected. It's the support workers that are rorting the system and not giving any benefits. And most of us would have seen, or those who haven't seen, is they're basically coming in, cleaning up, doing a clean, for elderly or NDIS support work for those people who can't work, who can't clean their own house. They go in, and in the clip, they don't bring any cleaning products and use the person's tissues in the house to that's on another level. They clean the house with that person's tissues. Yeah. I am the Eggman. Yes, I am the Eggman. I want to get Bess back on as well. She went to where they had I think, how long is it now? 40 years. Bess, where are you? I want to talk about the UFO landing, and I've just forgotten where it is. Because I also want to get her on to show some of the photos, and we can have a big discussion, because I had not a debate, but Wayne and PJ believe there are aliens and other beings in our universe. Well, I don't. I've got to see it to believe it. I'm Thomas the Doubter. So I'm going to just scroll down some of the past comments, to see if Bess... Oh, here we go. It's near Dandenong. Yeah, it's Westall from 1966. So it was actually, before I was even born. Yep. Yeah. It's near Dandenong. Oh, it seems like X is the only one where comments are working. Fuck me. All right. Just hold on a minute, guys. I'm going to see if Rumble is actually working. Fuck, that's not looking good. Can anyone see, is Rumble working? This wasn't working fucking last time. Oh, it is. it is working. It's working on Cafe Locked-Out. That's fantastic. I might just put that on. Yep. So I'll try and read. Oh, Richard Ford's on here. How does an ad cost $20 million? I do understand how, because I've worked in the industry. So you'd be giving all of the actors like 4 to 10 Ks for that. But it would be for the airtime. So that would be, the 20 million would be going to the airtime. So I don't think it's the ad itself that costs that much. It's the actual airtime where they're playing it on on social media probably, and Channel 9, Channel 7, Channel 10, etc. Just let me go back into StreamYard. Make sure. Okay. I haven't heard from PJ. Let me see, because I fucked up like I usually did. Yep. But I think he's just coming on late. That's all right. But you know what? We will get into... Where have I got it? I'll try and get all the Rumble going, and I was trying to get YouTube going as well. But I will play a clip in regards to the fuel, so we can all understand how to save our fuel. Okay. Let me add this on. Remove other media. Here we go.
From tomorrow morning, you can see the next phase of the Albanese government's response to the fuel crisis. A new ad campaign is rolling out nationwide, but the coalition has been quick to attack how much it will cost.
The global fuel shortage is affecting us all.
In 30 seconds, the Albanese government takes its fuel crisis response to the next level.
Together, simple actions can make our supply go further.
Spelling out a simple message in a new ad campaign: use less fuel, due to broadcast nationwide tomorrow.
The longer this goes on, the tail of this is serious, and we have to prepare for that.
The cost of the ad? $20 million. Australians told to take public transport, remove roof racks from cars, heavy items from boots, and pump up tyres.
Well, I always use the example of carrying a child. If you're going to carry a small child, it's less effort than a heavier child. And it's the same for a car.
The lighter the load,
you might get 5, 10, 15% improvement in fuel.
The ad, a waste of taxpayer money, according to the coalition.
Frankly, I don't think Australians want to be lectured by taxpayer-funded political propaganda about driving less.
The Australian government has been here before. In the 1970s, another fuel crisis prompted a similar ad campaign. The message back then, much more animated.
Hello, Mike. I like your Sunday bike. Secretary Sal, why don't you pick up a pal? There's at least a dozen ways to save our petrol.
Bearing all to save at the Bowser.
There's at least a dozen ways to save our petrol.
Isabel Mullen, 7 News.
And Sydney drivers are being praised for dobbing in dodgy service stations that are failing to pass on the cut to the fuel excise. Let's go live to Nick Hose. Nick, there's been a big response to the government's Bowser bust.
Yeah, Mark, New South Wales motorists have really wasted no time calling out dodgy fuel pricing, stepping up the so-called Bowser busters. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen thousands of reports made into the New South Wales government. The crackdown's already led to a big surge in fines for servos caught doing the wrong thing. Drivers are reporting price mismatches between what's advertised and what's actually on the Bowser. Now, since mid-March, they've carried out more than 2,300 checks across the state. That's resulted in over 140 fines. For servos caught out, penalties can be more than $1,000 on the spot. And tonight, fuel supply does continue to be a big issue, although it is improving. There are 17 servos without fuel, 5 without diesel, and 167 without one type of fuel. And so, Mark, with thousands of drivers acting as the eyes and ears of the New South Wales government, this price crackdown is really only ramping up.
Righto, Nick, thank you.
No matter where you're watching from in the world, I would love to get your thoughts on the Australian government, the Albanese government. Last week, we showed you part of the Prime Minister's big address to the nation where he essentially wanted everyone to stop.
I think we'll just leave that. That just moved on to the next video. Yep. All right. Just go through some of the comments. No, working. Yep. And it looks like we got YouTube working on WTF. So I'm just going to put that up. Give it a second to come up. There you go. Yeah. So try and copy that if you can. That's the first. I think we had it working right at the start, but then we decided against going on YouTube. But apparently they've become more relaxed. We'll see how that works tonight. Because every time that we've been on YouTube, we've been taken down pretty much. So what I've had to do is upload it, like when we've live streamed. So I've had to upload it later on. It just gets more ridiculous. Yes, it does, Steve. Comments are not working for me. So is that on Facebook? Are you on Facebook? Yep, you're on Facebook, I can see. I hope they haven't already, because they do. I'm going to go into, let's have a look. If I can see the comments are, I'm just going to put one, you're commenting as conspiracy fact checker. That's where I am at the moment. And I'll do a hello to everyone. So you guys are probably aware of the movie that's coming out in regards to this. It's going to be maybe just me and Nick tonight. So I've got Nick coming on. How you going, buddy? How are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. PJ said he's going to be on in 2 minutes, but that was half an hour ago. So, yeah, that was my fault as well, though, because I sent him the wrong link. But then I said, don't use that one. Use this one. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure where he is. I might just go into Facebook. It's asking me for my PIN. And I've already plugged your thing, but we're going to plug it again. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's happened to him. Yeah, I already plugged it as soon as we came on. But like I said, usually we start getting more people, half an hour in anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. I get it.
Yeah. Because it's hard. And I'm trying to get, well, this might be just appropriate for you because I don't know that.
Well, I got plenty to talk about if you got some time. So there's lots of things to talk about.
Yep. Yeah. Because how about we plug your thing straight away, and then we'll plug it again at the end when because the message that you sent me. I don't know who the guy is that's actually organizing it, but it's about security and security in the home, which seems to be a factor nowadays, even though Jacinta told us that it was safe nowadays.
Well, yeah. She's they've created this problem.
Yeah.
And the problem's not going to go away.
No, it's not.
So we need to find out solutions. Give me a sec. I'm just
yeah, take your time, buddy.
Yeah, no worries. I just jumped on pretty rushed as well. So
yeah,
I'll also share my website so I've just got into the security game.
Oh yeah.
And the reason being not your standard sort of security work, but I'm sort of applying the South African model for Australia, sadly, because I believe that we are so we're down. Official statistics are that we're down about 1,570 police in Victoria. I've spoken to a lot of police officers who have said it's more like 10,000. And the reason being is they obviously COVID, we lost a lot of police. There were a lot of good police that we lost as well. There was a scheme in the police force where you could cash in your sick days. So if you didn't take your sick days, you can cash them in later on. So that was like an incentive to keep people on the job, and rather than taking those days. And so a lot of the old school coppers, they left because otherwise they would have lost all of those days. And then Queensland were offering $20,000 extra a year for Victoria Police to go up there, and they were housing them and paying for their removals and to be reset, and then all these other bonuses. So we're down in the police numbers. On top of that, we've got this. We've brought a lot of people into this country who don't respect our laws, and there's home invasions all the time. I'll give you some of my own personal experience. So I'm doing rapid response security at the moment in the sort of the Bayside area. Yeah. And there's a lot of, it's just private security. So people that want to be safe, I'm just on call. And there's a number of us that roam around and we're on call. So if anyone calls us, we just get there as quick as we can because there's been home invasions, there's been people's cars stolen, all sorts of crime happening in these areas, and they're getting targeted because there's wealth there, there's money there.
Yep.
And most days when I do my rounds, I will see people of a specific demographic walking around as scouts, and what they do is I know they don't live there, and they scout, and then later on I'll see maybe 3-4 in the morning a whole mob of them.
Yep.
And I know that they're looking for a house to burg or a car to steal.
Yep.
So this is a real problem. Now, we don't have enough police to deal with it. And this is sort of what's happened in South Africa as well, right? As you think of the degradation of their amazing society to where it is now, we're seeing the same thing with the crime rates are going up and we're not safe. We don't have enough police. So the solution that we're sort of put together is a rapid response, cheap rapid response. So if lots of people pay to have you on call, it's actually not that expensive. It becomes very cheap. People can pay, $50 a week, $30 a week, depending on what level of cover you want. And you basically got security on call all throughout the night hours. And we can be there in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of these people have called police and it's the next day they turn up. So some of our clients, So one of our clients is a guy.
I'm laughing. Just a quick one. My parents were burgled. I think 5, 6. I think it was just before. Yeah, it was just before COVID. So probably about 7 years ago, and it was stupid. They had quite a bit of cash that they put away in a safe, but it was like one of those Bunnings safes, and got taken with them. So I said, "Have you rang the police?" And they said, "Yeah." Which was in Whittlesea. They were living in Whittlesea. They don't live there anymore. But basically, they didn't come for a whole night. So then my mum actually rang them, and she's an 80-year-old woman, and said to them, "If you don't come here, and like do the fingerprint swabbing, whatever, and like check what has been done, because we've got to report it to the insurance as well. Not, they can't claim cash. They tried to claim it, but they wouldn't. But they just said, "Oh yeah, we'll get there when we can." And she basically, I think she waited maybe an hour and then rang him again and basically said, "If you guys aren't here soon, I'm going to put in a complaint into internal affairs." And then they had detectives there in about 2 hours. But it was the next day. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are 80-year-old people. Yeah,
I know. So one of our clients now in the Brighton area, actually it was in Hampton. They a whole bunch of a particular demographic with machetes, right? Walking into. I'll get the footage soon when I can get access to the footage, and I'll share it. I'll share it with you guys. The 7-year-old son's downstairs, and all these machete wielding gangsters walk in. Just walk past the kid. Like that's what's happening in these more affluent,
Is that actually online? Because it rings a bell.
No, the footage of this one. It's happening all the time. But this particular one, no, it hasn't gone live yet. So that's what we're effectively we're doing. So I'm working with one really good mate of mine, and he does St Kilda to Hampton, and we're just about to launch Beaumaris up to Frankston, because all those beach areas, and even anywhere where there's people that have money, they're getting cars right. Actually, one of the guys that we know, his Porsche was stolen, had a tracker in it. Guess where they found it? In Dubai. So there's a full operation going on. There's a full operation going on of stealing cars.
Yeah.
So one demographic take the car, get it to another person. The other demographic, change the serial numbers and everything, and then it goes to another demographic and it gets put on a boat and it gets sold to people in the Middle East. And then on top of that, you've got the hate crimes happening as well. One of the guys in our area, he's got a great big cross on the front of his house, and we're going to do probably a report on it this week. And he's got footage of somebody coming up and scratching the window, like just scratching it because it's got a cross there, right? So this is happening as well. So there's heaps of issues that the government have created. They've created them, and they've left us in a position where we're in danger and we're not safe. And on top of that, they're not going to give you any extra power to defend yourself. So what we've done is we've come up with a solution, which is rapid response security. It's not expensive, it's cheap. It's really cheap. And then you can have people, on call all through the night, 7 days a week. And I think that's going to be the way ahead going forward, to give them people that actual protection that they need, because they're not going to be able to get the police. I mean, police have told me that, because I talk to the police all the time, which is interesting, because I've got.
I was going to ask, how's that going after what you went through? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the police don't like the police corruption either. But I talk to them and I say, because I say to them, what are your thoughts? Can you manage the crime? Does it look like it's getting better? No, it doesn't. They know they can't police it. They know they don't have the power to solve the problem. Now, on top of that, you add the cost of living crisis, right? When things become more expensive, a lot of people will go to crime. The people that are at that bottom that bottom demographic will go. They get to the point where they just don't care anymore. So then they start stealing and getting involved in crime because there's no other way for them. So the government's created this. We have so much in the way of resources, in the way of capacity, and this is how you know it's not by it's by design. It's not by accident that it's becoming this bad. It is by design, because you cannot consistently make so many terrible decisions politically. You can't make that many, and every single one of them is bad.
Yeah.
You go, there's an agenda here, right?
Yeah.
So we need to take things into our own in our own hands. And I think the security side of things, I think is a great initiative. It's cheap. And we can really help people with it. So I'm going to be promoting that and talking about that and other ways to fortify your home. There's lots of things you can do that cost nothing, and we're going to be talking about that on Sunday at Mentone. So we're going to be at the Cyan Bar in Mentone on the Penn Highway. We've got a good venue, and we're going to be just doing it. And it's $10 to cover the cost of everything, but we're going to give you all this free information of how things that you can employ that cost you almost nothing or nothing, as to how, that are going to protect your home. Just easy things you can do, like even planting certain rose bushes there. And we're going to have a guy talking about cameras and alarms. We're going to have another guy talking about, just how to identify actual threats, ways you can work in with the community. So I really believe this is something that we should have been on a while ago, and if we get onto it now, I think we can get it. We can actually protect. We can become, I guess, fortified before it becomes, someone dies or something really bad happens. We can actually give people the tools that they need to protect themselves and their families. And I just think about the families. Like I don't care about the big companies and all that and all of that sort of stuff and the government. They can deal with that, their security issues themselves, but families, individual families and small businesses, they're the ones that are getting targeted. They don't get any help, and the police can't help them. The police admit they can't help. So we want to give people the tools and the ability to be able to just to be able to defend themselves. And I was a fight coach for years, so that's what I used to do. I used to teach people how to fight, which I think is one thing that you can give people. But fortifying your home, so defensively, on a very little budget, is also something that I think everybody needs to do now if they want to avoid being invaded, having their car stolen. I actually had a guy try to steal my car the other day as well, and I got out there before he, the spotlights and everything went off, and I've got a dog, like things like that actually really help. The dog starts going off. Yeah. But I mean, and my car was just, it was just a heap of junk, right? Yeah. Yet someone else trying to steal my heap of junk. So if you got a nice Porsche or something like that, you're going to be targeted. There's a lot of money to be made, especially when there's a full operation of getting them to these factories, changing over all the serial numbers and everything and the VIN numbers, and then getting them onto a boat over to the Middle East, and then they obviously it's a full business.
Yes, I was going to say hi. How you going? Two things. Tommy, great. I'm impressed. We've found a new sponsor who talks more than Wayne. That's pretty hard to do, to get a sponsor and someone who talks more than Wayne. But how you going, mate? Good, mate. Good.
Lots to talk about.
Have you been on when we've had Nick on?
No, I have not.
Fuck. See, I can't keep track anymore.
Sorry. Yeah. I read your roster. That's why I was late.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah. Because
I use the Tom Vogel roster technique.
I started a new gig this week, Nick. Security in a control room. So we've got the same sort of background. We understand security, but don't understand punctuality or rosters properly. When you misread it and you're supposed to be there the first day at 6:30 in the morning, and you get a call, because I thought I was doing the night shift, so I got a call 8 a.m. I got a call 8 a.m. First impression, great, So I'm like, I read it as 18:30 start. So, but I don't know what I was reading. So,
did maybe they made a mistake?
No, they didn't. It was me. Okay. It was me. I'm like,
you just got up to it,
Yeah. Well, I did, and I looked at the roster afterwards, and then I'm like, I got no excuse. But the good thing is, it's a 12-hour shift, but the guy that was supposed to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday has now dropped out. So now I'm going to be doing 7 12-hour shifts in a row. So it's going to kill me. Ooh. But but I'm like, all right, just to start the gig off, just going to have to do it and sort of get back in the good books with. I already am because I agreed to do it. So they just haven't got anyone else.
Well, I won't be seeing you on my RDO on Friday.
No. Well, when is Ash's fight?
Saturday.
I'll be coming to it regardless. I'm just going to go in. So there's a friend of ours. She's a female, and she's got a her first fight is coming up. Her first boxing fight.
Boxing fight?
Yeah.
So like
On
a
whose show is
Masters
it?
event. It's in Epping on Saturday. I couldn't tell you. I bought tickets, but I can't remember what company it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's 40.
What's her name?
Ash Foster.
Ash Foster. So
First pro fight? Amateur.
Amateur.
fight.
Yeah.
Amateur. Okay, yeah.
So it's like a Masters, so it'd be all over 40s.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think her fight's at 6 o'clock, so I can try and get there by about 4. Because obviously, if everything runs short, it won't be on at 6.
Well, yeah, I finished 6:30, so because I promised her but I can't. You know.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
you can either celebrate the win, celebrate the win, or see the demise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so
I'll definitely come.
Promoter. My wife's a fight promoter, and she I don't think they ever ran a fight show to schedule ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually they start about an hour later.
Yeah.
So
I'll
probably
keep you in the loop, mate.
Yep. Yeah, because I've been to a few. Yeah, back in the day when I used to box as well. I used to love going
box, did you?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
Yeah. Who'd you box with?
I trained under Keith Ellis for a while. So I know the Ellis boys. I know Aaron Ellis because I directed a bunch of short films, and I helped produce one of his short films that he got into filmmaking as well. Lester Ellis Jr. He's an actor as well. I acted in a couple of things with him. There was a trailer that they were trying to make a feature film. It's not bad, but it's not great. But yeah, he's in that as well. So yeah, we've known each other through Aaron.
I used to train boxing. I first started boxing with Johnny Brockton in South Melbourne, Port Melbourne, just on the border there. And Lester Ellis used to train quite a bit with Johnny Brockton.
Yeah, but that was actually the last guy that I trained with when he was in Altona. But I started off with Mick Kavanagh, who trained David Russell. So
David Russell, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. And we've got a mutual friend. Can I talk about this, PJ?
Rodney.
Yeah, about Rodney. So yeah, we just met. Rodney's a good mate of PJ. Turns out that he married David Russell's sister. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's his ex-wife now.
I know the Russell family very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being a Croydon boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he have a gym over in Ferntree Gully? Not Ferntree Gully, out that way.
He's from Ferntree Gully.
Mick Kavanagh. He had the Ringwood Boxing Club.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
yeah. So that's where I first started.
Factory, was it? That wasn't the Fighters Factory, was it?
No, that's Murray Thompson. I trained there for a while.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I trained under the main guy. I trained under was in Reservoir when I was living up in Whittlesea, which was Greg Rogan. Have you heard of him?
No.
He's fucking hilarious, mate. He's a really good coach and trainer. But when he's training her, he's just like, hit it harder, hit the bag harder. But he's smoking a cigarette and having a VB while he's training her. He's like old school. But he's skinny as, like he never put on any weight. Like, just one of those guys that's out of a comic book. He's but fit as because.
Have you noticed that the fight community has some really strange heads in it?
Oh,
really strange, like out there, full outliers. It's full of outliers. People. It's not like your standard run of the mill bloke. It's people that really stand out. I think they're attracted to that sort of extreme sport.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but he was just a character, and he still is. I've lost touch with him, but Yeah, and it was basically in his backyard. He just built under in his garage. He built a ring to spar in. And yeah, he had some tough guys there. I remember, and one of them went to Vegas. Frank Portal, I think. Frank, yeah, I've got it. Frank Portello, yeah, but he went to Vegas to fight later on. I discovered, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I sparred that guy, you know, and he used to say, I hate like sparring you. You're like, you've got an awkward stance. I don't like it. So
You're
I'm
not
like,
a southpaw, are you?
No, I sort of put my hands down, and then I'm quicker from putting my hands down. You know, when you're more relaxed and
you move way better when your hands are down. I agree. But you need to be tough enough to take the punches when you do it. When you do it, when you really hit it. Yeah, because I always get my hands down too. I'd slip and weave because it actually helps counterbalance you.
Yeah. So but
I was training one of my mates, and he's a security guy as well. And I was training him the other day, and I was telling him to keep his hands up, right? Then he sends me a message with a photo of me he's watching one of my fights, and I've got my hands down. He said, "What's this? What's all this about keeping your hands up? You don't do it, you hypocrite." Funny.
And just Nick, I'm just answering some of the things as we go along. Wayne won't be on tonight.
He's working.
He's in Cooktown. He was saying that they're still drilling and doing all. He was going to get. I think he's working at a motel or something in Cooktown, but I think there's still tornadoes and shit, whatever there is. But he's like, they're working at the moment, and it's going to be too hard with all the noise and everything. So he's giving it a miss. So. Yeah, it gets a bit hard sometimes putting this show on every week. By the way, this is podcast episode 141. That's pretty fucking nuts. So we've done 141 episodes.
I've probably done 70.
You've probably done, yeah. Because you came on later. PJ came on later in the show.
And I don't make it a priority.
Yeah, and PJ, you weren't here. Wayne just said, because they were asking where you were, and Wayne just said, PJ's like a stray cat. He just comes for food sometimes, and then just pisses off, and he just comes and goes as he pleases. But
I got more owners.
Yeah, but you're definitely part of the trio. Like it's not the same when when you're not here. So, and then he says the least, but then he says these fucking Yoda fucking moments or fucking Confucius sort of fucking things where everyone just stops and goes, Jesus Christ, that makes a lot of sense. And then he's got his own fucking cult following with the fans. He's got more people that want to. Where's PJ? Nobody fucking asks when I'm not fucking around. But or Wayne, yeah. But yeah, where's PJ?
What's the name? What was I going to talk about tonight? This scam that we're all under at the moment.
Which scam? Which one? There's many.
anything with the word global in front of it is a fucking scam, mate.
Yes. For many reasons.
As soon as they say global, it means scam. It means that you're being fucking hoodwinked here. The only fucking pricks making money is the US government at the moment because they just found out how to make their dollar worth something again.
Yeah.
So they start a stupid war. And have you seen how many? I sent you that thing about the ships going in and out of Texas.
No, I haven't. You know what? I've been trying to keep up with, and because I just did 2 12-hour shifts, with this gig, and it's just been full on, like with the training. And then I come home, and then I discover I've got a fucking blocked toilet, so I'm up till midnight, fucking trying to unblock that.
Yeah,
got to get up at 5 a.m. Yeah, I did do it. Yep. I'd say so. Because I can't blame the kids anymore. They're 17 and 18, so there's no object down there except for something that I might have put.
It's your diet. That's what it is. But yeah, no, you have a look into when you've got spare time, sleeping in the control booth. Have a look how many ships are going in and out of the port of Texas. They can't get them in quick enough.
Yeah.
They're filling them with oil and sending them out. American oil is it's all about American oil at the moment.
Yep.
They're getting a premium price because they've stopped everyone else.
Wait, what are your thoughts on that, Nick?
Well, I think it needs to play out first to know what's going on. It's obvious. It looks to me clearly that it's an attack on China. That's what I believe is going on, and by cutting off the because obviously Venezuela was a big chunk of China's
well. We talked
supply.
about that too. Yeah.
So and obviously we're in the middle of it, and so we're copping it a bit. But I think that's what it is. And powers always fight each other. We're the little guys. They're the powers. And when people say, and this is what I really struggle with, is when people think that the other guys are the good guys because they're the bad guys. They're all bad at the top. So they're bad guys fighting each other. The idea that, like Iran's good or China's good, I've seen all this rhetoric on. It's like, mate, they're all the power people are bad.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think that they're benevolent at all. That's how because they got power.
Yeah.
So I've probably got a different opinion on it, but I don't know because at the end of the day, like I have enough humility to know that I don't know what because we don't know what's really going on because there's I think there's probably a lot of strategy, and there'd have to be. It couldn't be something that's not strategic. Whether it's strategically going to be good for us or bad, I mean. Who knows? But I think that these people are very intelligent. They have think tanks to work out how to control things. And if there's one group that's trying to control too much, and another group says, we don't want you to do that, then they go to war, then things happen. And we're just the little people down the bottom.
Yeah.
So, we don't have any power to stop it. What we have power to do is to become strong in our communities and think of ways to mitigate the damage that and what it's going to do to us. But that's what I think. Yeah.
Well, it was Iran and Venezuela setting up to start trading oil in Chinese dollars.
Yeah.
Instead of US
there
dollars.
You go. That's what it is.
It's got nothing to do with fucking nuclear weapons. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
They could have done that years ago.
They were trying to sell
oil.
But
in saying that. So, quite a few of my mates in the military, I was never in the military, but I know a lot of military guys. And I was talking to one guy, he spent a lot of time in Iraq when it was really bad. And he's with regards to geopolitics, he's all over it. And he just said something to me that put it into perspective for me, and it made sense to me. He said, I'd much rather have the ruling power that's running the world be the ruling power. And I'd rather the Americans still be in control, because if the other people took that power and took that role, I don't think that we would have any of the freedoms that we have. And I kind of agree with that. And the reason I say that is I've been to China. I've been to mainland China. I've seen what it's like over there. I've seen what it's like for the little guys. I've seen how controlled and manipulated it is. I know that 200 million Christians, they reckon that they've got there. Nearly all the pastors get put in jail. It's really oppressive. Now, if that group was to take over and become the ruling power, how do you think that they're just going to be all benevolent and let people do whatever they want and have the freedoms that we have now? And I actually think I think the US does seem to have the most freedoms and rights, the right to bear arms. They have actual proper freedom of speech. So, if we compare one group to another group, and like Iran, like the Iranians, they're brutal to people. Like they really are brutal. We don't see that kind of brutality in the Western world. Like we don't see that. So, the idea, and I think it's real Marxist. It's the Marxist sort of indoctrination. I think that causes a lot of people to think if they're the bad guys, then the other guys must be the good guys. because the oppressed can't be the oppressed, can't be the bad guys because they're oppressed, right? But the reality is, if another group, if some Islamic caliphate took control and was the world power, or China became the world power, I don't think our quality of life would improve in any way as far as rights and freedoms. and the ability to self-identify. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. What's interesting, were you on the show when we got shut down, PJ, with because we were talking about 4 times we've been shut down.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job, man. That's good. That's a solid effort.
That's what I said. Yeah. But we were talking about the Israel-Gaza war. And basically what I said was, and this is my belief and opinion, I'm not taking any sides in that war, and that's what we were talking about. This is what I was saying, and we got shut down for breaching community guidelines. And I said, I think both sides are shit because 7th of October, they're killing innocent people. Gaza, they're killing innocent people. They're killing civilians. They're killing children and so on. Yeah, it's tit for tat. And it's like the people that are actually suffering are not the people at the top. And it's not the politicians, the government. It's always the innocent civilians. And then bang, we got shut down on Facebook, and we got a notice basically saying we're on notice for breaching community guidelines, supporting terrorist groups or supporting groups of violence.
Yeah,
so I'm preaching
jail if you keep this up.
Did you challenge it at all? Did you challenge it?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
I think Wayne.
What was the outcome? Nothing.
I can't remember, man, because it's been so many times I've copped it. By the way, this is actually a good segue. There was one time I did a review on The Sound of Freedom. You know, when The Sound of Freedom came out, the movie?
Yeah.
And I just did, this is like, it's horrible. And I don't know how much it's been dramatized, obviously, for the movie, Obviously, you know, there's bits that, because I was wondering, did he actually kill that guy? I don't know if you remember the movie, that he kills a guy in it because he stops him from raping the little girl, basically. And it's out in South America somewhere. And I'm wondering, did that actually happen? But what really blew my mind at the end, and I said this in the review on YouTube, and it's the ending where they show the actual footage when that island gets raided. You've seen The Sound of Freedom, have you, Nick?
Yeah, I have.
So the actual footage blew my mind even more because I'm like, well, that's not dramatized. That's actually even worse, actually seeing that for real, that they've got all these cameras hidden. And these guys basically set up under pretense that they were going to set up a pedophile island, which
it was a sting operation.
Yeah, it was a sting, and they go, we're going to set it up. We're going to have all these, millionaires come in, and we're going to make money. Can you organize? I think 50 or 80, something like some unreal number, and they brought. I don't know, it's 30 underage girls, and I think boys as well.
Those boys as well.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is fucking that really clinched it for me at the end. But then when I put it on YouTube, it was just a review, of the movie. Now I disputed that one because they said I breached community guidelines in regards to children, something like that, which made it sound out like I'm the bad guy, like I'm the pedophile. And I'm like, I'm reviewing the movie and saying how terrible all this is and how, this needs to be exposed even more, and how harrowing, especially the real documentary footage at the end of the movie is. And I get fucking shut down. Now, it was probably an algorithm, I'm guessing. So I disputed it. And they let me back on, but it happened twice.
They didn't let you put it back up, though.
No, they did. They did. So they did let, but at first it was a strike where I wasn't allowed to post for 3 weeks.
30 days?
I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 3 weeks. Oh, it could have been 30 days. I can't remember because I've had so many where I sort of take, but I haven't had any. I've breached community guidelines or copyright. We always breach copyright, which makes no sense at all, really.
Playing songs and playing videos that we took off their own page, and then they put ads over our replays.
So someone just had a put up a comment there. The new ASIO bill. Can I just mention something here that this is my 2 cents on it. The way it works in the system is legislation. This is the problem we have with our system, right? Legislation is deemed to be legitimate until it's proven otherwise, right? So they can pass legislation if they've got the people, in the upper and lower house, in the Senate. They can pass this legislation, and then all someone has to do is take it through the courts to prove that, because they always make legislation that's invalid. It's in conflict with high court cases. So, but they do it on purpose. And this is the thing. So imagine they brought in, use this as an example, a letterbox tax, brought new legislation for letterbox taxes. And someone takes it through the courts, goes to the High Court, proves that it's illegitimate. Now, let's say it took 2 years to go to the High Court. All of that money that was raised and taken from people, we'll call it theft for the letterbox tax, government theft, that doesn't have to be paid back. You know why? Because the legislation was deemed to be legitimate until it was proven otherwise. So it's not like when they misapply legislation. So what happens is, if they pass that legislation, all the people that they detain and do whatever and hold, eventually they'll get out and someone will prove that it was illegitimate and it will go to the High Court. But they would just bring it in to go after certain people for a period of time until it's proven otherwise. That's
just for those people that don't know, what is the ASIO? What's it called? ASIO information bill or ASIO?
Yeah, it's an act that they're essentially they're giving themselves power to compel to arrest people with. So the threshold for warrants is going to be much lower, and then you can't.
It doesn't have to go through
Supreme Court,
a magistrate or anything. Is that correct?
No, it still does for the warrant. It's just that the threshold's lower, I believe. I might be wrong, but I know that what they're effectively going to do with it is they can compel you to speak. You can't refute. You can't exercise the right to not incriminate yourself. So we just know that the legislation is not valid. You actually don't. There's no. You could argue that very easily, but it's going to take time to be able to beat it down in the courts. And until that happens, if they pass this, they're going to use this. This is what they do all the time. They're going to use those powers.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, oh, okay, well, the legislation is not valid, but no one's going to be reimbursed for the damage that's been done by ASIO and the government when they've targeted people with these special powers that they should have never had in the first place.
Yeah. So the other question I was going to ask, is John Farnham going to be charged with hate speech?
From the river. I can't even say it. That's actually illegal for me to say now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wait, what's your thoughts on that, Nick?
I don't know. I didn't hear about it.
So there's a
I've done
statement.
something here. I'll fix it.
Of course you
have.
There's a phrase that's been deemed as arrestable for hate speech. From the creek to the lake.
I've got a bit to say on some of the hate speech stuff if you want to have a chat about it.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think a lot of people focus in on certain groups on the hate speech stuff, and if you actually look at where the people talk about the Israel lobby, they say they're the biggest lobby group and all the rest of it. Qatar is the biggest lobby group. They put in the most money into Western governments. I think the last figure that I was able to find following another guy in Canada who's done all this research, it's just over $1 trillion because Qatar's got oil money, like they're proper rich, proper wealthy, and they're sworn to the Muslim Brotherhood. And if you look at the Western world, have you noticed it's becoming more and more Islamic?
Yes.
You can't, you know, you've got to have halal this. You can't call it Christmas because it offends people in a lot of counties and a lot of cities and a lot of electorates. Got to call it happy holidays. You can't say certain things about Muhammad. So we've been going into the city with a A-frame saying should the Quran be banned for hate speech? Just asking the question with a question mark. And it's amazing how many people will come up to you and they'll be really angry that you're asking the question. I go, why can't I ask the question? So I'll give them out a flyer that has just a small number of those verses that say to kill the infidel and to kill those who don't believe in their religion and the apostates. So that to me, I think if we're going to look at things that are actually hate speech, I mean, so I believe this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Okay, don't get angry with me if I say something that offends you. This is part of being in a Western culture. It's what made us great, is that we have the ability to debate ideas and to challenge ideas and to criticize ideas. But the Quran and their hadiths literally say to kill me. They say that it's okay to marry cousins. It's okay to take sex slaves. It's okay to beat your wives. It's okay to marry children. Like in Iran, they lowered the age for marriage to 9, right? Because Muhammad did that. He married a 6-year-old and then had sex with her when she was 9. That's in their book, and that's not so. These are real issues. I reckon these are the Marxism and Islam, in my opinion, are the biggest two threats to our culture and our way of life. And it's interesting how they're working together. So if you look at the Islamic community and in our country and in all the Western countries, they always vote left. They always vote for the Marxist communist government, always. And you're going to go, this is why? Why are they doing this? You know, so I think that's our issue. It's not just the government. It's actually two things. It's two-tiered, and if we don't start addressing it and having the nuts and the capacity to actually start calling it out, we're not going to win. Being nice to people doesn't win wars. This is a culture war. You need to actually be bold and say, no, that's rubbish. My cousin marriage doesn't have any place in our country. Child marriage, like they were, you know, the Noble Park Mosque, they were marrying underage children. That was a case, you know, the imam went to jail for it. But we know they do it anyway. They're doing it all over in this country. And then they're having multiple wives, all the rest of it. And then they're getting politically active, right? So then they're politically active. They start getting and they start getting control of the universities. And then we can see that, like if you look at places like in the UK, or you look at like New York. At the moment, they've got Mandami, they're spouting all the terrorist stuff. They actually have call to prayer 5 times on the loudspeakers all throughout New York now. They're turning it into a yeah. Oh yeah, you look it up.
I think I've heard this before. This has been going on for quite a while. Yeah.
Yeah, but the funding for this is coming from Qatar. Qatar is but not many people talk about it or know about it. They point the finger at everyone else. It's like that's where the money's coming from. And that's, I think, the biggest threat. It's like this is the massive elephant in the room, but people aren't talking about it. And I think we need to, because otherwise we're going to end up like the UK, where they have 200 Sharia courts. You know, we've already had in this country people, you know, imams screaming and shouting that, we need to reject the laws of this land. We need to bring in the Sharia law. We need to make this an Islamic. This is what they teach. They're teaching this stuff. And, if that's not an act of war, I don't know what is.
I'll just read this out, but I'm going to go on to the mosque as well, where Albanese shit his pants, basically.
Yep.
Do we know that stuff about Islam is really true, though? After 9/11 and Muslims being blamed for it wrongly, I am very skeptical.
So first of all, we don't really know who was behind it. We all think it's this group or that group. We don't actually know all the details, but obviously it was a false flag. I don't believe the official story, but I'm just talking. I'm not attacking Muslims. I'm just going after the ideology. If you read their stuff and you listen to what their imams say, They tell you that they're going to take over. That's what they're here to do. That's what their book tells them to do. They refuse to assimilate, and they say they refuse to assimilate. That's what they remember say. We're not going to accept this. Yet they're voting. They're a voting bloc for the people that are for gay marriage and the people that are for abortion, all the things that are against them, right? So you've got to go, well, why are they doing that? Because this is all strategic. It's strategic to get control of the government and to make it more Islamic. There was a guy, his name, he's got a channel called Bjorn the Bull. He writes books about Viking history, and he's very well known. And he was offered a huge amount of money, Qatari money, to do a series about his books. But the condition was he had to basically he had to promote the idea in this series that the Vikings were very, very closely aligned with Islam, and they had this Islamic connection. And he just said that's a hard no because he's got integrity. But this is what's happening. People are saying that is. I mean, if you look at the Pakistan, right? 61 to 65% of Pakistan are married to their cousins.
Yes, that is true.
That's a fact.
There was a Pakistani, I think she was a teacher in the UK, and she actually said that's why she had problems in her own family because of all the cousins marrying each other, and they had 3 disabled sisters and brothers, and I think she was the only one who was actually normal, and I think she was a doctor. I'd love to
so there was a private members motion in the House of Commons that was voted against to make cousin marriage, to criminalise it, and they voted against it. Now 3% of the population in the UK, and I don't know if it's probably higher now, but it was 3%. Out of that 3% of the Pakistani community, who the majority are married to first cousins, 33% of the birth defects derive, which tells you that they're 11-fold higher in incidence of birth defects. Because if it was 33% of the population was accounted for 33% of the birth defects, that's even. But when it's 3%, and from that 3% you get 33%, that's 11-fold. So these are all things people don't talk about, and so I've been talking about that, and I think I'll probably get I'll probably get charged at some point for it. I'm expecting it, but if someone doesn't start talking, but as long as you can back everything you're saying by the truth, then you can survive. I think the onslaught of prosecutions.
And it doesn't help that California have come out and said that 1 in 3 boys is autistic. Oh no, 1 in 12 now, they reckon. 1 in 12.
1 in 12.
Probably is 1 in 3. In fact, we're probably on the spectrum too. I don't even know.
Yeah.
What are you gauged against?
Misdiagnosed.
I know I'm on the spectrum. What did you say, PJ?
Misdiagnosed.
Yeah, but that's why we started our YouTube channel, the Christian Warrior Project. We started that a little just recently, just to get people that are because a lot of people don't realize how Christian we are. They think Christianity means being going to church. It's not that. What it is like freedom of speech is a Christian idea. The abolition of slavery was a Christian idea. That's what stopped slavery was the British. The British in 1807 they brought in the Slave Trade Act. It was William Wilberforce. They made man stealing illegal. Then 1833 they brought in the Slavery Abolition Act. Then they took out a loan. 40% of the British Empire's GDP for that year was taken out, and then they paid out the slave owners, and then they couldn't take any other slaves. Then from there it went to the rest of Europe. Then it went to the US. It was all driven by the golden rule: do unto others as you have them do unto you. Then we've got separation of church and state. That comes from Jesus saying, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, to God the things that are God's. Protesting was made big by the Protestant Reformation. All of these rights and freedoms that we have and enjoy, the right to a fair trial, the right to be heard, equality before the law, which is really under attack now. You got Sudanese guys stab a kid to death on the other side of the city. They get bailed straight away. I'm a risk of breaching the chief health officer's directions, and then they don't give me bail. They keep me in jail for a month. So you see how unequal that is. But the reason we had equality before the law is because God shows no partiality and he's not a respecter of persons and he's a lawgiver. That's where it comes from. You can look this up, where it all comes from. So we've got all this stuff that I think a lot of people, especially the woke lefties, think it's just a given. We should just have these rights. It's like, well, no, the only reason you got them is because the West is Christian. That's it. And now what you're doing is the lefties are supporting Islam and everything else. And they're not acknowledging, like I asked at an event on the other side of the city I was talking about, I said, who here knows, the history of the abolition of slavery? And no one knew it. And then I explained it to them and I said, isn't it interesting that the West is the place that actually abolished slavery first, and because of that, most of the rest of the world had to, because they were pressured by the West, abolish slavery. Isn't it interesting? And that comes from two Bible verses specifically. You've got one that says, there's actually a number of Bible verses, and then you've got the equality between men and women, not the woke version, but just equality, like the idea that men and women are equal in value. That comes from Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. There's neither in the beginning God made man in his image, in the image of God made he him, male and female made he them. So male and female are made in God's image. And then in Galatians it says that there's neither Jew nor Gentiles, neither bond nor free, there's neither male or female, all are one in Christ Jesus. So these ideas, which a lot of people don't want to acknowledge, are the ideas that gave us all of those things that have made us free. And now we've got lefties in the city. I've spoken to them many times where they'll say, they'll have like death to the colonizer T-shirts or placards, and I'll say, what? And I'll have a chat with them, and I'll explain to them that the thing that you're protesting against is the thing that's given you the right to protest. Don't you think that's hypocritical? But they don't know. And I asked these people at this event the other day, I said, I talked about the abolition of slavery, and I said, isn't it interesting that no one knew the history of the abolition of slavery? We're teaching kids in school they can be genderless fairies, and we're teaching them at age 7 now in Victoria about gender-based violence. So they're teaching kids to hate men. That's what that means, in my opinion. But we're not teaching them about our beautiful history of abolishing slavery. Don't you think that's really important that we know these things? So I can see that. I think the biggest attack we have is the cultural one. If we were anchored to our real values, we knew where they came from, actually we'd be very strong. We'd be much more like Poland. If you look at the Polish people, they know who they are. They know their culture. They know where they're not perfect, but they have a lot more of that. We've really lost a lot of that because of all this Marxist education. And here we are, we're importing people who don't share those values, and then they're going to vote for the people that want to take away those values, and we're not even going to realise why we had those values in the first place. So there's a bit going on. I think it's a real information war. And that's just my opinion, and I just wanted to share that because I think it's important that we understand that we are very rapidly losing all of the things that we want, that they have given us the prosperity we have, and we're not going to get it back unless we really do fight for it. And part of that is speaking about the most powerful weapon you've got, and you guys are doing it, is speaking. Because when you speak to people, you stir them up and you get them, you get them activated. Yeah, I'm against that too. Or you give them information, knowledge that they can share and use to break down the arguments that people are raising. Because people are spouting all this rubbish about, us being colonizers and we're evil. It's like, all right. So, and I'll say this to my wife, because my she's half Samoan and she's half Swiss French, right? So she's a mix, right? I go, so your cousin, yeah. So I said to my wife, I said, what did your ancestors used to do before the colonizers came? And she laughs. I go, yeah, they used to eat each other. They used to eat each other.
Until the colonizers came, then they ate them.
So don't tell me that colonization is always bad. I think under the British it was actually pretty good. It actually did a lot of good, right? Now there's Islamic, if you look at Islamic conquest, which that's been the history of Islam 100% of the time. Pretty much all of North Africa used to be Christian and a little bit Jewish, but nearly all Christian. Most of the Middle East used to be Christian. It ain't Christian anymore. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't because all those Christian people were so inspired by Islam that they went, I want to do that. I want to marry my cousin. I want to marry children. No, they didn't. They had a sword put to their neck, convert or die, or be a dhimmi and pay a tax that'll eventually kill you. And that's why there's swords on those flags. And you know what? A lot of the Islamic scholars talk about this. They're proud of it. Yet we're not listening.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my not 2 cents. It's like 50 cents or 100 cents, like $1.
$1.30 at least.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, and your book's got some kooky shit in it too. I'm just going to go outside before I get.
But what you do is you judge it by its fruit, right? That's a Bible verse. So you judge it by its fruit. What the Western countries that were all built on Christian principles flourished and did well. Show me where in the Islamic world they have the same. And you can go to Dubai and all this, but the reason that their Saudis do well is they've got oil money. They've got so much money. That's the only reason why. So,
we got a lot of shit around money too. We just piss it away.
Yeah, because of Marxism. But you can see the societies that were built on those.
Smoking in the house, I won't be able.
What's that?
If I get sprung smoking in the house, I'll have more than Islamic jihad happen here. So
you're in trouble, mate, because we can all see this and the evidence exists. It's all
so
on
I'm
camera.
I've got his wife's number, so I might give her a call now.
Yep. So anyway, I did tell you though I've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. But I've got 2 questions for you. I'll try. I wanted an update on how you are going because you won the 3 cases against you by Victoria Police.
Yep.
And that was basically, it was what? Being out of curfew, not adhering to the mandate.
Hindering the authorised officers. Then there was all the false assault charges against me. Then there was another one of assault from another rally, and I did win them all in the end. And I've got a settlement hearing coming up. So
okay, I just because I'm sure people would want to know. Well, I wanted to know. I've been wanting to get you on the show. And the other thing, because we've just been talking about it as well, because I totally agree with you. Look, I've got especially one of my mates who I do want to get him on the show because I'm not for the pro-Palestine movement.
Neither am I.
And the reason is, one of the main reasons is the burning of the Australian flag. Because why are they burning our flag? We're not responsible for what is happening over there.
Well, it's being orchestrated through the socialist networks in the universities too. Yeah. That's what's behind it. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not organic at all.
No, it's been infiltrated and pushed, and I think so is the Aboriginal flag, which has got nothing to do with it, in my opinion, too.
Nothing.
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with 100%. It. Yeah, I mean, they're just using the excuse it's stolen land. It's just, to me, it's 2 totally different.
I really believe the whole pro-Palestine movement is just, to me, it's a Qatar-funded agenda. It's funded. You see it the same in all across the Western world. They're targeting the Western countries, and those same people that have been rallying for it, are they there for the Iranian people when the Iranians are they there for any other group that's being targeted? That's no, they're not. Yeah. So why is that? Well, because it's not organic. That's why. It's an agenda.
Yes. I did. We were talking about the whole Iranian thing, and I agree with it, and I'm all for the liberating of the Iranian people, but it wasn't really a debate, but I sort of threw it up in the air on the show that night. Why now? Because it's been happening for ages, and now Trump looks like he's the liberator of these women, and I agree the regime is violent and fucking has tortured and killed people.
Yeah.
Especially, we had a guy from Venezuela on as well who was just cheering, and I showed some footage, and it's horrific of, like the bears, what are they, the armored bear cats that we had, and they're just mowing people. They're actually driving over them in Venezuela.
That's
so
right.
that's the sort of shit that's been happening in Iran, and I totally am for getting rid of this regime. But to look at Trump as the savior, it's to me like, well, why now?
But who else is going to do it? Like, that's the thing. I mean, I just think of the hope because hope's really powerful. There was actually an experiment done with rats. They'd put them in water and they'd try to swim until they died. Like, they'd put them in a situation where they're fighting for their life. And after about 2 hours, they would die. Now, it's a little bit cruel, but I just saw this experiment. I can't remember what it's called. And then they did it again with another one. And then they pulled it out right when it was about to die. And they put it back in, and it went for like 60 hours because of hope. That's how powerful hope is. And these people, where you just normally give up, but these people, and I know a lot of Iranian people because of I was an MMA fighter. I trained with the wrestling guys. I know a lot of Iranian people. I was talking to even my doctor's Iranian. I spoke to him. And he's just so happy that I was talking to him when they were doing those rallies for that Amini girl who was killed as well. That became a big deal. But that happens to lots of women over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, my doctor talks about it, and he says, I want them dead. Like, he hates them, right? He knows how evil they are. His family's been affected by it. One of my really good mates, Mo, he used to be one of my wrestling partners. So I used to train with. Another Iranian guy. I said, when it was all happening, he said, "Are you happy?" He said, "Yeah, I am happy." They're happy because there's hope now. And at the end of the day, the only way you can beat a powerful military force that's evil is with another one. Whether it's evil or good, it doesn't matter. You need another powerful military force to do it. And the little guys with sticks and stones can't do that. There's no way to become liberated that way, unfortunately. So at the end of the day, the top guys are going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to fight it out. But if it works for the little guy, then great, and they've got hope now at least, and hope's going to get them through a lot more. They're going to have a lot more endurance capacity. When you remove hope, people give up and just die. But they've got hope now. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. And I've spoken to a lot of Iranian people who, and every one of them that I know. And I'm not saying all of them do think this way, but everyone that I know agrees that they want the Americans there and the Israelis there, getting rid of them. That's how much they hate the regime. Now, there would be some that probably don't think that, but that's not any of the ones I know. And I think it's important to ask, because we can look at what's on like you can see it. You can see people on one side, on the other side, all these different variables being expressed as being, what's really going on. But how do we know, right? And when people speak on a platform, there's usually some agenda, or it's more likely to be an agenda there. But when you speak to just people that you know, like your doctor, your guy you train with wrestling, one of my other mates, he was an Olympian wrestler as well. I used to train with him, and he's another guy. He hated the regime, right? All these guys, so I've known that they hate the regime for a long time. And they're very got a very Western mindset. The Iranians. When you talk to these people, they've got no agenda. Like why would they tell you something false? They're not getting paid any money. And
I do agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to actually get someone from the other side on, but it seems to be Michael Gray Griffith is interviewing a woman at the moment. I think it's a 4-part series basically that he's put together where he's interviewed her 4 times, and she just hates on the regime. And Bess, who's just come up in the comments, she's got a milk bar owner who we're possibly going to get on the show, who's Iranian, and he's happy as Larry that the regime is falling down in Iran.
Yeah.
It's going to take boots on the ground to make the regime fall. And
I think so too. Do you reckon Trump is going to do that?
I really don't know
how much money they make out of oil.
I really don't know, because there's a lot of people saying it, this is going to happen. Who knows? Who really know? We don't really know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, because we're getting third-hand information. I have no idea.
The more information we have, the more misinformation we get.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
So we're bombarded with the most information, but 90% of it's bullshit.
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
We're being, anyone who thinks the government has our best interests at heart is a fucking idiot.
I don't think many do anymore, mate, which is good.
Yeah,
because they're the most self-serving fucking bunch of pricks
that we've ever had.
And it's getting worse by the day.
I think it's getting worse. Yeah.
Well, they're watering down our fucking culture to buy votes.
Yeah.
Who are you going to vote for? You just got off the boat. Well, whoever got me here.
Well, they can't vote straight away. They have. I think it's about. They're going to wait a year or something to be able to to vote. But yeah, it's a long. It's a. What they're doing is they're sacrificing our culture and values and way of life over to keep power for a short time.
Yeah,
these
exactly.
politicians. That's what they're doing.
But that's the same thing that the United Kingdom done the same thing, and they're reaping the benefits now, aren't they?
Have you heard of the Fabian Society?
Yes. Yeah. It's Albo was part of it.
Yeah, so is Penny Wong, so was Julia Gillard, so was Bob Hawke. Bob Hawke spoke at the 100-year anniversary, so was Tony Blair. This is they were established in 1884. The guy named I think it was Aldous Huxley, another guy was George Bernard Shaw, and they set up an organisation for the sole purpose of. It's called the Fabian Society. It's named after Fabius, who was like a general in Rome from back in. I think he fought against what's the guy's name? He fought against Hannibal.
Oh
and
really?
what
Not
they did is
biggest
what's
diggers.
that? Yeah.
Remember the history of the world part 2 or whatever the hell it is.
As Life of Brian.
But what he did was that he cut off the supply lines and he wore the people out till they were really weak and then hit really hard. That was his thing. So they've got a motto: when we hit hard, right? And they gradually wear you out and then they hit hard. So you could see a prime example of Fabianism, political gradualism. This is actually what Bob Hawke spoke about. He mentioned political gradualism 4 times in his 100-year anniversary speech at the Fabian Society. You can look it up online. You can get the speech. And the Fabians' agenda was always to bring about the Fabian goals by gradually wearing the people down over time. So it's a way of turning a country into a socialist utopia without a revolution, right? It's just by gradually wearing them down. And if you look at things like the voice to Parliament was weakening the people and the culture and everything, then bang, trying to ram it through. That's what they do. Now they don't always win. But there's a real fight there. But this is Fabianism. So when we see all this mass immigration and this red green alliance, you can see that's part of how Fabianism works, because we're the demographic they need to get rid of, because we're the demographic that believe in freedom of speech and all these things and having power and wealth that really belongs to us, the Commonwealth, that the Commonwealth belongs to the people. So they've got to get rid of that. So bring people over that don't have any idea of what that even means. They're just happy to have a bit more food and a little bit more money. It's not so terrible over here, and they're not going to fight for it. And that's essentially what they're doing. And can you imagine if they brought over another 5 million people? They could do that.
Well,
that's they've got the Little India coming as well, which
it's already there. I work there.
But they're planning Little India basically, and when I first mentioned it in the podcast, I was called the usual cooker, or I think I did a little WTF on it, and like, oh, where's your proof? And I'm like, but I think it's the Indian Prime Minister was actually talking about it, and he was like saying, if you want to come over to Australia and build a house there, we will also send you the carpenters, the builders, and so on. So not only are you
qualifications, So you can
well, no, they've got the qualifications on paper, but they're not legitimate. No, that was that was a scandal recently.
Well, talk to me about the joint they're building next door. I've had 5 punctures in 2 months.
It's interesting that the lady before said, "No, this was a lady. Oh no, it was a bloke." Tim Sturmey said, "Islam is a gradualism ideology as well," and it is. It gradually wears you down, and then they breed and they have multiple wives, and they're happy to get single parent pensions and homes for those other wives, and that's happening. That's legitimately happening now, and that's
definitely breeding us out, and that's their plan.
Yeah. That's the plan, and it is the plan. It is part of jihad. It is, and people go, "Oh, it's not jihad." "Oh, it's so offensive, Nick." You know what? All I have to do is read the text and look at the history. I know exactly what you guys are doing, and I don't care if you're offended because it's the truth.
And there's nothing wrong with being offended, actually.
I think it's important to offend people. I think it's important for people to be able to be offended as well and deal with it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think
all right. And I've seen 1,000 requests for a palate cleanser.
A palate cleanser. Okay, cool. So we do palate cleansers, Nick.
What's that?
So we do. Wayne came up with it.
Like it.
Well, yeah, I'll see what I come up with because I've got a folder called palate cleansers.
When we get
what we do is, what's that?
I said when we get a bit heavy and it gets all a bit serious, we try and break it up a little bit.
Yeah, because and to basically change the subject as well, because we've been on one subject too long. So Wayne brought this idea in with palate cleanser. So
that's good. It's good.
So we'll see. I'll just open the folder. What do we got? Palate cleanser. All right, this is good.
Usually, someone will be offended.
Well, their prophet is a pedo warlord anyway. Because
right here was on his phone, appearing to be on a dating app. You see him scrolling through that woman's profile there on the app. And it all started with this. The failed use of the new technology called the grappler sent the car into the wall there. And then for hours, SWAT deputies tried to negotiate with a man to come out of the car. And while SWAT was beginning to escalate the tactics they were using different types of gas, drones, and even banging out the windows here, it was something we caught a deputy doing from Sky Cow. Take a look at the video here. You'll see as Sky Cow was moving around trying to see each of the things that the deputies had, we noticed that the deputy on the left right here was on his phone, appearing to be on a dating app. You see him scrolling through that woman's profile there on the app before swiping left and then swiping left 2 more times. It's important to note that because look how close he is. This barricade was active. The suspect was still alive at this point and armed, while this deputy right behind the cover of the Bearcat is sitting there scrolling through what appears to us to be a dating app. Now, we did look at the back vest of that deputy. We did see the letters SGT, which to us would indicate that he is a sergeant, potentially in a supervisory capacity here with the Riverside County Sheriff's SWAT team. Now, once we saw this, we looked back in, we saw him put the phone down, but you'll see one more time here, he appears to be scrolling through a profile there of a woman before swiping left and looking at 2 additional profiles, all the while just feet from this armed barricade suspect. We want to show you the response tonight from the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. They say, quote, "This behavior does not reflect the standards, expectations, or policies of our department. We have initiated an internal investigation and will take appropriate action based on the findings. The Sheriff's Office remains committed to professionalism and holding our employees accountable." That standoff would ultimately end with sheriff's deputies shooting tear gas into the back of the car. The suspect, as we believe it now, turned the gun on himself. But tonight, it's the tactics of that deputy and what he was doing during that armed standoff that are being called into question.
Nice.
So that's how we changed the subject. We just have the palate cleanser.
You did well.
But I believe, just like the Liberal government, Rapid Response, your company is going to get offering him $5,000 to come across.
It won't be that rapid with him there. unless you got a big set of cans. That'll be really rapid.
To change the subject, I was going to ask you as well, because we're talking about the culture war. with the whole gender, men can have babies, etc., etc., which has. Do you think it's lessening? I think people are just really getting sick of it. So I wanted your feedback on that, Nick.
Do you reckon that there's less people? I'm just sending you a text.
Have people just had enough with the bullshit with
Are you sending a text? Are you?
Huh?
I am.
Doing a bit of swiping.
I've got a lovely wife, so I don't need to get on the dating apps. But yeah,
I'm surely the sergeant did too.
Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, look, I mean, it all comes down to how stupid people are. If you're stupid enough to believe, anyway, I got to be careful what I say. But if you're stupid enough to believe some of these narratives, and you're willing to offer up your children on the altar to being, completely down. I mean, imagine you had a child that was brought up, like this, and then they grow up and they realize what's happened to them. They're going to be ashamed of their childhood. It's going to affect them deeply. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It seems to be the woke people and a lot of the woke women are the ones behind this.
I find it interesting how it's women, because women have got a nurturing, mothering instinct, you would think, but there's a lot. Remember when I played that TED Talk, PJ? There was a woman who was saying MAPS is actually a sexual orientation.
There's two TED Talks.
And it was a woman.
There's two women, different women that do TED Talks about defending the rights of pedophiles. And they say that...
So MAPS, for those that don't, most of us do know, minor attracted persons, which is a pedophile.
Yeah, and it's what I call, and the term, I don't know who coined the term, but it's called, they call it suicidal empathy.
Yes. Yeah. But it still blows my mind that these females, who I always see as protectors of children, because many of them carry a child in the womb, and it really blows my mind that some of these women then actually, because instead of a girl or a boy, they wanted the other gender, then start dressing them up in what they actually preferred, and then they start indoctrinating them into believing that they should have been a boy, or they give them the choice and they tell them it's okay, when it's probably just a tomboy phase that the girl is going through, or vice versa. It just blows my mind that a female goes along with that narrative.
Well, woke culture is the replacement culture for the Western people. They used to have a Christian culture. A lot of it still do, and holding on to the Christian culture, but woke culture is the replacement. And that's why you see a lot of these woke churches, a lot of the big churches, they've been hijacked as well. They're meant to be the arbiters of morals. What's happened is you've got them, rainbow flags and all this rubbish, promoting all this garbage. And that's to replace the culture, to bring in the new culture, which is all this wokery. That's why we're so weak. That's why the Western people are so weak. See, the Muslims aren't weak. They know exactly who they are. They know what they believe in. They know what they're anchored to, right? Yeah. I think it's ridiculous, the stuff that they're anchored to, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Whereas we were anchored to the best stuff, the Christian stuff. We were, that was what gave us all of these rights and freedoms, right? And they've replaced that and removed it. They do it through the universities, through the schools, through the TV. Even like feminism, right, is completely, it's anti-Christian, right? Because there's a certain order that's meant to work. Feminism's the opposite of that. I talk to my kids, so we'll be watching, because we do a movie night once a week, and I'll point, if there's propaganda there, I'll ask who can see the propaganda, right? And often, you know what it is? It's whoever it's like the dad it's like a family movie. The dad is like the stupid one and the weak one, and the woman's the strong and intelligent one. And it's interesting, that's consistent nearly all the time. Why is it? Why do they keep putting that in there? Well, they put it in there because that's what they're trying to make the men to be the lesser, when actually we have a capacity for justice that's greater. We have a capacity, and I'm talking about generally, I'm not talking about individually, and we have a capacity for things that are different to women. Women have a different capacity. But what they're doing is they want to switch it around and muddy the waters and remove the order. It's what the New World Order, part of it's reordering society at the family, at the nuclear family level, because that's sort of the base that they need to change that. And then once they change that, then they can reform all the bits and pieces somewhere else. Think of it like Lego pieces put together that have built something good. We're going to break it all down and build something else. And that's what's happening. I mean, and that's why we can see such high divorce rates, all the rest of it. But it all comes back to that wokery. It's a replacement of our culture.
Yeah. Hey, because and I downloaded the video. I was going to show it in one of the previous podcasts. But, you'd probably know Dr. Joanna Howe, who's been fighting against I'll just play this video because it basically matches with what you're saying with the indoctrination and the bullshit that is being, like, it should not be allowed in primary school. So, because I think she's talking about how she polices what her young kids are seeing. So let's just play
Queer Kid Stuff. I'm Linz, and I'm Teddy.
Sorry.
And this
I always
is
forget
Teddy's
to do
Book
this.
Club,
I've
where
got
we're
to get
reading
rid of
LGBTQ
the
plus
old
picture
one.
books with you all every Saturday morning. This week, we are
Let
reading
me
a book called
rewind that.
What's an Abortion? Hi, friends. Welcome to Queer Kid Stuff. I'm Linz, and I'm Teddy. And this is Teddy's Book Club, where we're reading LGBTQ plus picture books with you all every Saturday morning. This week, we are reading a book called What's an Abortion Anyway? Abortion is very safe.
This radical leftist ideologue is one of the writers of Paw Patrol, which is why I just don't let my children watch that show anymore. But it's not just this radical leftist ideology that's infiltrating our television screens and the things that our kids are watching, it's also in the school system. So in Victoria, the word gender is mentioned 350 times in the Respectful Relationships program that 5-year-olds are being taught. In South Australia, where I live, Peter Malinauskas has his education system teaching kids about the gender-bred person, who's instructing kids that the gender that they might feel in their head might be different to their heart and might be different to their genitals. Why are we letting radical left Labor governments brainwash our children? I am very careful about the TV shows. I'm very careful about the books that my children read. And I'm even more careful about the school I send my children to, because they go there every day of the week and we must know what they're being taught. If you are as sick as I am of this radical left agenda brainwashing our children and telling all of us who critique it that we're bigots, well then join our movement as we speak truth to power and we fight back.
So
she's fantastic, isn't she?
She's really good. I don't know if you saw the video of her confronting Nat Cook. We've talked about this as well. We're sort of, I'm trying to, I think we've, all three of us on this podcast, Wayne, PJ and I have agreed that you should be allowed abortion until, I know you're against it, Nick, but I think we said up to 3 months. Would that be right, PJ?
It's about circumstance as well.
Yeah, about circumstances, if there's rape involved or whatever.
Yeah,
but we're totally against up to. I don't understand. I cannot understand that. Why would you?
Probably not the best conversation.
Yeah. Oh yes.
What he said with his daughter in his lap. So just need to bring that to your attention, Tom.
Yes.
We've got 5 children. And we love them all, and I'm really, really pro-life. I think life is even in the worst circumstances, and that's my opinion. And people can disagree with it, I don't have an issue with people disagreeing with me. I think that's what makes us great, is that we can actually disagree and not on things and not hate each other for it.
Exactly.
The ideologues in the left are very much the other way. If you don't agree with them, that you're a fascist and you're all these other awful things. But yeah, I'm just very pro-life. I think even in the worst situation, just the value of life is so great that I think it's still, it's worth keeping these beautiful children. I get a lot of joy out of them. I get a lot of stress too, but it's worth it. I think it's the greatest thing, having children. I love it.
Yeah.
I got 2 children and a motorcycle, and they both cause me just equal stress. And I love them all equally.
You go, Mum?
Hey, we'll put the Muslims we'll put the Muslims to bed. I was going to say.
Well, I was just talking to my wife who just walked through Faulkner in the dark to predominantly Muslim male Jim, who's a blonde Kiwi bombshell, and walked back safely.
Yep.
Now I'll have to go, guys. I've got to put these little ones to bed.
To bed, cool.
Yeah.
You know what? Just before you go, I think a good what we do on the show, we actually show how to fight the absurdity by using absurdity against the fucking stupidity of it all that they're trying to sell us. And so I want to show you this video clip where I reckon these guys are doing a great job of it, where you just turn it back.
Can men get pregnant?
I am.
You learned how to use this.
One day after 2 years. Well, they've actually changed it, so it's not all my fault.
Oh, so it's only been 1 year.
Yes, it's been 1 year. It has been 1 year. All right. This is you're gonna love this.
He used their own logic against them. Can men get pregnant?
I am.
You're pregnant? You are?
Yeah. How about a congratulations? Instead of laughing at me, you could say congrats or something.
Congratulations. I'm sorry.
You can't see it?
No,
we've still got Joe in our house till there.
Yeah, she's
What's
still
that?
fighting back.
Yeah, you've got the other video on.
Fighting back.
You share screening.
Are you
You're
serious?
share screening the wrong thing.
So it's not coming up with
No, you've still got a frozen image of old mate.
Oh wow, because I'm not seeing that on my side. So maybe I will just get.
There we go.
Is that working now?
Yeah.
Mentor housed, I think it says in there. At Mentor housed. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. He used their own logic against them. Can men get pregnant?
I am.
You're pregnant? You are?
Yeah. How about a congratulations? Instead of laughing at me, you could say like congrats or something.
Congratulations. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I
So how
appreciate
far
it.
along are you?
2 weeks.
How do you know you're pregnant after 2 weeks?
My stomach's been growling more than usual, so and me and him had sex, so I think that's where it came from.
How long have you guys been together?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh.
We were like a one night stand. I was finna dip, but I was like, that's my kid. I'm finna stay. So.
That's really noble of you. We need more of that. More
I know
men
we need
like
more
you.
black fathers.
Did you take a test yet?
The test for what, AIDS?
That too, but presumably the pregnancy test?
Oh, no.
How do you know
so-
you don't just have cramps?
No, I have a kid too, so this is the second time this happened.
So the first time you had a kid, you felt like you...
Yeah, I felt the same sensation I'm feeling now.
Okay, and where did the kid come out of?
My asshole. That's kind of obvious, right?
Yeah, is that funny or something?
No, you're right.
Our kid's gonna be black and East too. He's gonna be a straight
What
A
is so
student
funny?
and gonna be on the basketball team. So
Yeah, the next LeBron James.
/ Yao Ming, black and yellow.
Okay, cool.
Now, did you see how she was holding back the laughter? But I'm quite sure she didn't expect that reaction. She wanted to push, like, you know, your prejudice and whatever, but they turned it and they agreed with her. And you could see that she couldn't agree. She knew that the guy wasn't pregnant.
Did you see
Well,
the
he's
one
just
I sent you? Hey,
But he's bold. He's bold. It's boldness and just it's having confidence and just not having any respect for these people and their stupid ideas. Like you just don't respect it. You just call it out and you mock it. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. You know, who cares about their feelings? Look what they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy and deconstruct our whole society and all our way of life.
Did you see the one? I think I sent it to you. It got one of the usual multiple flag protests, and he was saying, what do you think? We're all talking about the Straits of Hormuz. No one's talking about the gays of Hormuz. And they go, yeah, that's right.
and the lefties going, yeah, you're right. You're right. Like they're so deluded. They have no idea of reality. They just don't even know what they're talking about. They're just there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with the gay pride Palestinian flag.
Now, I got to go, guys. So
it's been a
take
pleasure.
care. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for tolerating me and putting up with me. I enjoyed it. It was good.
Well,
and you know what?
The
Just
other
before
thing, the other thing, we need tolerance also.
Tolerance, yeah.
Yeah, cool. I think that's been pushed pretty far, that tolerance. I don't know.
Yes. But as Wayne and I always say, I don't care if people come over here, and we're against mass immigration because I don't think the infrastructure is here. But I also do not want people that do not assimilate with us.
Yes.
That don't want to throw. That's it. It's as simple as that. I want people that I've worked with two Muslim guys today. Great guys. So, but obviously I'm not going to tell them about the podcast and say, here, watch the replay of this.
At the end of the day, we should be able to this is the thing. Like I had the discussion with I had a discussion with this Muslim guy, right? There's three of them, and they're having a crack at me. But I'm saying to them, I'm like, this is what we do in the West. You're in the Western country. We challenge ideas, we critique ideas, and if you don't like it, then that's on you. You're the one that's choosing to be offended. And that's at the end of the day, the truth has to be more important than people's feelings. But what they've done, this new culture they're creating, is the feelings matter more than the truth. So I think we just need to have the
absolute.
I agree.
It's like, I'm not going to Pakistan and saying, "Here, eat a pie, and drink a Melbourne bitter with me," because this is what I want here in Pakistan.
And you want the whole country to change because you're the one person over there. And
it's all going to be halal meat. It's got to be. We can't say Christmas or Easter. It's going to be happy holidays because it's offensive to people. Like these are the things where I go. You're taking the piss now. You're taking the piss. Have a bit of respect for us. I'm not going to be nice to you anymore because if you're willing to respect our way of life, no worries. But a lot of people are not doing that, and I think it's important that we start to speak out about it because speech is what the thought precedes the action. How do you put the thought out there? You speak it. You talk to people. They hear it. They go, you know what? You're right. I agree. That is wrong. I'm going to start speaking out. And very quickly, we start to rally the troops and the false narratives start to break down and we become more empowered. So anyway, I got to go. Thanks for letting me promote, talk and all the rest of it. I did share with you my Christian Warrior Project YouTube channel and I've got I shared my security thing with you. But also we've got
now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's how we get sponsored.
That's it. So Sunday at 5:00 in Mentone Community Safety Forum. It'll be great if we can get people down there. There's going to be lots of information, stuff that people can really. It'll give people a lot of power to fortify their homes and to just be safer. I think we need that. It's becoming really dangerous out there. Not enough police. So I just want to reiterate that. That's this Sunday at 5:00 at Cyan Bar in Mentone. It's 116 Nepean Highway. And if people can get out there, that'll be great. Anyway, guys, take care.
There'll be bubbles and canapes.
Yes. Just quickly, I want to get you back on the show because I saw a clip that you went overseas, am I correct, and helped rescue children?
Yeah, I did anti-tribe trafficking work on the Arizona-Mexican border. Yeah.
You're a fucking very humble guy because this is the third time we've had you on. And I just saw that little clip of you and I'm like, you never even brought that up in the two podcasts that we've had you on. We've now had you on the third one. And I talked about Sound of Freedom and you are a very humble guy. I got to say, man, my hat off to you because that is a big fucking thing. You went overseas and helped save children that were being trafficked. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that's you're a legend, man. That's pretty.
Yeah, we were cutting off their supply route so they couldn't actually traffic them. We were taking over and chasing all the cartel members. We were all armed, chasing them down, and they were running away. And then we'd take their bases, and we would we would piss all over their they would put a US flag there. Then we'll go to the next one. Then we'd have people radioed up. It was a great operation. But yeah, like you got to have a crack. I think have a crack, do things.
What country was that in too?
That was the US Mexican border.
So Arizona.
Okay. Yeah.
Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mexican cartels. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
We've had you on 2 times. Yeah. All right. We'll let you go. Thank you very much for being on the show, Nick. That was very awesome. So yeah, great chat.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. Thanks for listening to me.
See you, mate. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Now you're gonna play as a racist?
Yes. Yes.
Let me
I
have
was
a
going to get him because a few people thought I wasn't going to have the guts to. I was going to explain the whole thing behind it, and I was going to get him to introduce it and make him watch it and see if he.
I might not like that, Tom.
I don't care. It's like I don't want to show you this. I should not play this video. But I'm going to play it anyway. So I would have done that to Nick. It is. You know what? I love it because we are who we are. And I could see you biting your lip on like certain things, but you actually, we had a little debate, and you're saying you don't believe there's, and I think there's a lot of things in the Bible.
Like I said, his book's pretty kooky too.
Yeah, that they shall not lay with man, but I agree that Islam at the moment, and then I've got to say I worked with 2 lovely Muslim guys today, just fucking
where I
beautiful.
live.
Yeah, right. So it's not black and white. It's not black and white, but when you see what's happening in the UK and Ireland, that country is getting destroyed. What's happening, but it's a lot of I think it's especially the Sudanese African factor. Oh, sorry, I should have said certain demographic. Certain demographic where there's a lot of rapists.
He's let the YouTube algorithm quite correctly.
We're still fucking. I think we're still on YouTube.
No, we're not, because we haven't had a comment.
Fuck, we're still on.
Are we?
I think.
Well, let me have a piss before you do anything.
All right. Cool.
I'm 7 beers deep, bro.
So yeah, I think it was great. I'm bisexual. The other thing I actually forgot to mention to Nick, which I'm wondering if he was aware of, especially with his Christian belief. I had a good conversation, and I did one of my little short WTFs where I had a chat to Michael Gray Griffith, and he was talking about how he was chatting to a guy who told him that when they were at Camp Epic in Canberra, that this guy said to him that he was listening to the ABC radio in Canberra, and they were saying, if you see anyone carrying the Australian flag, to ring 000. So I'd love it's got to be online somewhere. There must be a public record of it. So they were basically demonizing these people as the N word, I would say. The nah. I don't even know if I can say that word anymore without getting in trouble. But anyway, that's not the real what the fuck. The real WTF on that is
I'm back.
You're back? I don't know if you saw the little WTF that I did about Michael Gray Griffith telling me that there was a guy at Camp Epic when they had the big rally, and he said that, so the ABC, they said, call the police if you see someone with the Australian flag. But what the real WTF is, Michael Gray Griffith then told me that, I mean, it's probably just a coincidence, but it's a very strange coincidence that the airwave that you tune into for the ABC in Canberra is 666. It's 666. And I told Wayne, and Wayne couldn't believe it. I go, I'm going to look it up. He goes, I'm looking it up right now. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, Michael Great Griffith is correct. It's 666. And then he looked it up, and basically he said it was the one that was next available. But if that came up, unless you're like a heavy metal rock group or a heavy metal, they probably suit a heavy metal
Radio
station.
Yeah, Triple R or something like that.
Yeah, but not ABC. Wouldn't the ABC go, maybe that's not a good idea? So this is how people become conspiracy theorists, because that's fucking nuts. It's insane. They just go, oh yeah, 666. Yeah, well, okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
WTF is on Rumble. All right, so we're cooking. I haven't even checked Cafe Locked but should we go straight to? Is this racist? Huh?
These people vote.
Oh fuck! You know, there was something that I wanted to play for Nick Patterson, because I'll play it. God damn it! I'm so annoyed that I didn't actually.
Well, the only reason I said that because I know you've got Is This Racist ready?
Yes, I have.
So that's why I went. These people vote because I know you don't have it ready.
No, yeah, I always fuck up with it, but hopefully it's come up sort of. Hopefully it's good, but there's you know how because obviously he's a fighter, so I want you know how Chuck Norris died 2 weeks ago. I think it is now. He passed away.
He didn't. No, he didn't. He did not die. He completed life.
But yeah, he's probably he
completed it. He finished.
Did you know? I didn't know. Michael Gray Griffith has entered the studio, so I think he's just logging us onto some other stuff. I don't know.
Or he's got something to say.
Or have you got something to say, mate? Have you got something to say?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a Zionist, by the way. He's gone. He's disappeared. But did you know about these fights that Chuck Norris had with people like that are not well known of? Here, well, I'll play it because there's actual footage.
I know, you know, he fought Bruce Lee, he's fought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's fought some.
Yeah, but did you know about these ones? I'll play it. Hang on, there's nothing on, so it should play straight away.
Talking to me?
That is the best.
I just remembered now, like usual.
You have to send me that because I don't post much things on Facebook, but I want to post that.
It's fucking. How good is that? Whoever thought of that? The best one out of that was for me was the Silence of the Lambs. He kicks him in the back and he goes flying through the glass.
And the Close Encounters.
Yeah. All right, it's been a big show. We've been a bit serious tonight, but we'll call it. We'll do Is This Racist and then end it.
Yeah, and then you have to wait till next month for the intro.
Correct. All right, let's see if for once I've got it.
You know, next time we have the intro, you're going to make you wait so long. The show is only going to be the intro. We're going to have to do that, mate. Just one day, just do the intro and that's it.
Or we finish the show and we all go offline. We go, look, it's just going to take a little bit, but we'll put it on and then we'll just go off air and then come back an hour later and just put the intro on.
No, just one show. Just please do it for me. One show. We 8 o'clock or whatever time we start. I don't fucking know nowadays.
Yeah.
We play the intro and that's it.
Straight away.
Finish.
Yeah. And then people go, people come on an hour late and they go, have you played the intro yet? Yeah, we go, have you played the, you know how they go, have you played the intro yet? And we just go, what are you talking about? We played it right at the start, like we always do.
No, we play the intro and then just not play, and that episode will go viral.
Yeah.
It's just the intro.
Anyway, without much further ado, there's a couple of things. If you haven't heard, Shane Warne's son has come out.
I did hear that today.
And then
that
it's
was actually on mainstream media.
Yeah. Which do you remember they were blaming that he had too much tea? That was one of the
400
suggestions.
Viagras.
Yeah, probably the Viagras might not have helped. That's actually, yeah. But someone else was saying, oh, it's not the cocaine binge that he was an alcohol binge he was going on.
No,
and I'm like,
toxicity report was clean.
Yeah, that was totally clean. It could have been like later on effects, but his son said he had the jab the week before he went. So put the two and two together. That's like the guy at work when I just went, nah, I'm not having this, because he had the jab at my work when I was doing traffic control, and the next day he had a heart attack. The doctors told him, oh, it's because you smoke so much per day. And I'm like, so you're buying that? And he said, yes. And I said, that might be the case. It might be, but the vaccine would have been the trigger that basically, yeah, it's a comorbidity. So I'm like, yeah, you know, how are you not putting the two and two? And people are still doing that. But anyway, we need a 2-hour intro, someone said.
Will there be a what the fuck next week? Well, that is a problem for next week.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, we will try. It's not as if we don't try to do it every week.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it is 3 hours of our weeks, even though we're only on for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But, you know, you guys do a lot of prep and stuff for it. So for us to back it up every single week, it ain't as easy as us just sitting here talking shit. I'll tell you right.
And like Wayne, and I've done the same thing today. I did 12 hours. I did 12 hours the night. I've had 8 hours sleep since Sunday. So I'm going to bed straight after this. And I'm getting up at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
So you've had a big week. 12 hours.
Yeah, I've had a big week.
Of sleep.
Well, I wish, man. I just, because I fucked up and came in 3 hours late, and then he said, listen, I'm still going to pay you the 12 hours. And then he hit me with it at the end of the shift.
Can you do the next 6 days?
Can you work 7 days? Yeah, can you work the next 6 days in a row? And I'm like, yeah, all right.
Don't you go into double time status after so many days?
Yeah, you do. I think it's 70 hours or something like that.
And then you go to double time.
So it's a fortnight. Yeah. So it's a fortnight, and I'll be working another 2 or 3, who knows, the week after. So it's going to be a good innings, but you can't do it all the time, man.
It'll make your wife happy.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Without further ado.
Stolen from outside the library 2 weeks.
Guess what?
Mind on the job.
Talking to your wives.
The 10 speed? Did you lock it up?
They used bolt cutters. Some black guy from the neighborhood. One of the other kids saw him.
A black guy. Imagine that.
Tony.
It's just, you know, I can't believe it.
I'm not listening to this shit.
Why don't you admit it? You're thinking exactly what I'm thinking.
Oh my God, what happened?
You lost the sound.
I lost the sound. There's supposed to be music over this. That's another what the fuck.
There's a sound.
White ass niggas going hard as fuck. Load it up, then we bout to paint the town. Push a little more, then we gon' start it up. Bring 'em on, bring 'em on, bring 'em on down. White ass niggas go.
Are you German?
Yes. No! Don't do that!
You said you're German.
No, we live in German, but we're Turk. No, German is just ass.
Well, that's because the Jews ruined it again.
No!
Oh, 100%.
No. Look, here's my single. Yeah, that's my mom.
Close. Now take that. Yeah. Hey, your mom just got the approval.
He ordered a car and thought the guy had no photos, but he did. Oh, look.
What's up, my Nickar? What the fuck did you just say? I said, what's up?
And then you call him a nigga!
No, dude, my name is Nick R.
Your name is nigga?
No, Nick R.
The hard motherfucking R?
It's not hard. I already checked.
I come from a long line of Nick R's.
That's messed up!
There's nothing wrong with being a Nick R.
Stop saying nigga!
Dude, I'm not. It's my name.
Well, your name is offensive.
Oh, you're a dirty Nickar.
Hey, you better watch your damn mouth, boy!
What? He has a stain on his shirt.
Ew, I am a dirty Nick R.
It sounds like you're saying nigga!
Really?
Yeah, Nick R, nigger.
I'm really not hearing it.
My God, there's something wrong with you guys.
Someone call for something wrong?
What?
You call my name, something wrong.
I said something wrong, not something wrong.
There is nothing wrong with something wrong,
Nigger, what?
You mock my family name?
I don't even know what the fuck you are saying, nigger.
Oh, wow, you is the super racist.
Wow, dude.
Racism doesn't look good on you.
Nickar, please.
I respect all cultures. Like, you ever heard that saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do? And I travel a lot. When I'm in France, I have a croissant. When I'm in Spain, I run with the bulls. When I'm in India, I shit in the street. You know?
That is maybe the most offensive thing you could say to me.
Watch out, sir. You can't go until the white man says you can, sir.
Excuse me?
You can't go until the white man says.
Until the who says?
The white man.
The white man tells me to go. It is 2025. I am tired of you racist,
the white man.
backwards
the little white
motherfuckers.
walking
Yo,
man.
fuck you,
the
man.
The white man.
Fuck you. Oh my God!
Stupid boy didn't listen to the white man.
You have to listen to the white man.
Yes, you do. Or there will be consequences.
Hey, hold up.
Is it Andrew?
Austin.
Right, Austin. I suck with names. Get here, man.
Yeah. Check this freak out. Dude, you got a problem?
Let's go. Come on.
Sam.
Sure about that? Well, that's pretty cool.
Alright.
That's pretty good, buddy.
Yeah.
That was nice of Austin to walk with the black kid.
That nigger stole my bike!
Oh, God.
I really need my bike!
Oh my gosh, how do people come up with things like this?
Should have been reading the comments. Oh well,
we haven't had we've had a few breaks here and there.
Yeah, I did struggle with tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, I could see you, but it was interesting, like what he has to say. So, and there's a lot of people, especially
like I said, everyone has an opinion. You pick and choose. They're like assholes. You pick and choose which one you're going to stick your tongue in. And it wasn't that one. But anyway.
But have you seen the footage where he got bashed by the 40 coppers?
40 coppers?
Yeah, around 40 coppers, I would say. Yeah. Yeah. And
No.
it's not just him, but it's I think it's 5 or 7 of his friends, but they came over in tactical gloves. I think they cracked one of his friends first, and then they crack him. He starts fighting back, but they pulled his shoulder out. So,
and why?
I believe because he was past the curfew. Also,
did a year jail for it, didn't he?
He did some jail time in remand for it. And he's won the 3 cases that the Victorian Police Force brought against him. He, not adhering to the mandates, not obeying police officers. I'll send you the episode. You haven't watched the episode because I
wasn't on it.
I thought for some reason you were on the show when we first had him on, but it was really interesting because they basically tell him that if he doesn't leave, he's going to be arrested because he's outside of his 5 kilometers. And he's very good at common law. Very there's another story. If you rewatch the show, basically he started doing a common law course, and he believes, because he wasn't really interested, but for some reason he was drawn to it, and he believes that God basically pulled him to do that because he puts the police officers to absolute shame. I'll send you the footage. It is just fucking amazing. Like he's because he's really knowledgeable in all of that shit, and he teaches it now as well. So he really knows his stuff.
He's well spoken.
He's
he knows his shit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was sitting there and I went, I'm not starting an argument with this guy.
Yeah. But I think it's interesting because I think he picked up on it as well.
And abuse.
Yeah, but he picked up on it as well. But he was happy to debate. Do you know what I mean? He's like, well, let's have a debate. And I think he's right. There's a lot of Muslims that it's death to the infidels, but working with some of the lovely blokes that I've been working with in the security industry that have got your back, especially doing doors, or the guys that I worked with today during the day, they're just like, oh, do you want something to eat? Do you want to but I don't actually want to bring up the whole Muhammad thing, marrying marrying someone at 9 years old.
Like I said, do you want me to start on some of the shit that Christian Brotherhoods have done?
Oh, yeah. And he's totally against that as well.
Oh, well, we all
obviously
are.
Yeah, yes.
But, there's his book's as fruity as the Quran. You know what I mean? If you want to, if you want me to, I wasn't prepared, so I didn't have notes of how much bullshit is in that book.
Yeah.
Well, how about fucking John fucking 1833 fucking thou shalt not finger your own ass? I haven't studied. The man has studied, and I'll give him that. And he would have, in any debate, he would have just ripped me a new one.
I'll send you the footage because Kyriakos, which I was going to come to, and then it got sidetracked.
What did you say?
Probably about fingering your own ass, because I'm pretty sure that's not in the Bible. But
Matthew John 7 with Ismail.
I can't believe we're still on YouTube. Anyway, Kyriakos, which I was going to point out, they gave him walking orders because they were actually intimidated by the way he rattled off the whole law. And he basically said, do you know this law? Do you know this? Do you know this? And he's like, no, I'm basically just following orders. Then they said, okay, we're going to give you one last chance to leave. And he goes, okay, I don't want to get arrested. We're all going to leave. And so they all went to their cars. They broke up to wherever their cars were. There was about 40 coppers. I'll send you the footage. I'm not exaggerating, am I? If in the comments, I think it was 40 cops. And they followed him from the other side of the street. And they were waiting for headquarters to give the go-ahead because they thought if headquarters gives the order, they would be exonerated by basically of any wrongdoing.
Floggings.
Because they're just following orders, which is what the Germans did. So, but apparently they're not. So there could be a civil case in the future, I believe.
Yeah.
But it blows my mind that he's won all three, but they still want him, which I didn't ask him. I think it's $300K or something that he had to pay in legal costs, yet it wasn't. Usually whoever loses has to now pay for it. So I'm not exactly sure how they get away with that. But they waited, followed him on the other side of the street. Headquarters went, yep, go ahead, go get him. But they didn't just go run over and go, right, we're arresting you. They actually ran over and just started throwing punches. Like they could have just stopped them and said, listen, you're under arrest. They run over there and basically, I don't think it's even like trying to hold the first guy. I think they just throw a punch first, and then Nick tries to protect his. I'll bring it up for next week, and we'll have a look at it because I'll send it to you. And I'm the same as well. Like you've sent, and apologies. There's a heap of you guys that are sending me stuff, and I'm trying to get through stuff. And we got to watch the rest of Epstein Island if they make it to the island in the canoes. So we'll fast forward through it and just
seriously, that was some fucking ridiculous shit. That was like if you and me just went, oh, we'll canoe to Epstein Island if it's at fucking Tassie. It was dumb as dog shit.
I'll be honest. I reckon I'd do it, but I don't think I'd do it with a fucking.
I'll do it if everyone was there and they're having a party. I could go there when it's closed. It's like canoeing to Disneyland. What the fuck?
It was pretty, like that storm was like.
Oh yeah,
I'd be going no. If it was calm waters, I'd be like, yeah, let's fucking do this.
Fucking hurricane.
Get some mushrooms. And go, yeah, then probably drown. Then that's even dumb. That's actually dumb. That's even more stupid.
Speaking of those, it's time for go for a walk, Thomas.
Yes. Yeah.
When you're not at work for 17 million hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. We'll do it soon. I'm coming to Ashes. I'll just power through, man.
I'll let you know where we're at. You just text me when you're finished.
Yep.
And I'll tell you where we're at, and we'll go from there. Because she did. Well, I spoke to her yesterday, and she expressed her need for you to be there.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Cool.
Whether it's before or after the fight.
Yeah.
But there was a need.
Yep. Cool.
Some sort of emotional support animal or something.
Yep. That's me. Yeah, because of the boxing background. Yeah.
Yes.
So we've talked about that. Yeah.
And gloves and that.
Yeah. All right. We're finishing it off. It's 10:30. We've done well. Yeah. Fucking hat off to Nick. So we're going to get him back on again because I reckon that is going to be really interesting.
And
3 podcasts in, and he had the chance when I talked about a sound of freedom to go. I did something similar. He did not mention it.
He's not that kind of guy.
Yeah, and that's pretty humble. Like that's a humble guy, man. Yeah. Like Yeah, fucking. So he's armed and he's fighting Mexican cartel. Oh, by the way, I binge watched Landman.
Oh yeah.
And I think you're right. Season 2 is not as good as season 1, but it gives you a good insight into the oil business. But on top of that, I didn't realize 2 of my favorite actors are in it: Andy Garcia and Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Sam Elliott is great. So is Andy Garcia.
Oh yeah. And just his argument, Billy Bob's ability to argue anything is amazing.
Yes. Mate, he's Billy Bob Thornton just...
It's one of his best roles.
I think it's his best role. He steals the show. He's just... I now, because I never understood it with Angelica... What's her name? What's the hottie? And
his missus.
Yeah, his ex. What was his ex in real life? Angelica...
Oh yeah,
Brad
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie. I was always like, why is she with this hillbilly? Like, and now, after watching that show, I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. Yep. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, with the low pant.
Yeah. Oh, but I you know what?
He's
and
like
I love
torso. His torso's about that long.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
When he's walking in those jeans, I'm just like, he looks like such a hillbilly, but you just still got this charisma
Swagger
about you, where he's fronting off with
Did you see the one where
cartel?
He's arguing with Sam Elliott, arguing with him, smoking a cigarette, and flicks it in his own pool.
He flicks it in his own pool. He's like, hey, get that out of there. It's like, it's my pool. I can litter. That's littering. He goes, it's my pool. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, it's amazing show. Because a lot of it is basically they call out the renewables and the wind turbines, all of that shit. They just call it out for what it is, and I love that. I thought I found it a bit strange when they had that the character who was going by they them at the end, and I'm like,
I haven't got that far.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'll just leave it.
So I'm halfway through the second season.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting, but I'm like, I don't know. It was a little bit different tone. I still loved the whole fucking. I loved, I think they were stretching it out a little bit, but because Andy Garcia and Sam Elliott were in it, I was just like, fucking give me more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those two guys, especially from Roadhouse. When he was in Roadhouse, Sam Elliott.
Yeah, no. And or the mask.
The what? Oh, the mask with Cher. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's a great movie too. That is actually a good movie. Yeah.
And he's really good in that. And he's in The Big Lebowski.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
His role in The Big Lebowski's awesome as well.
Yeah. I just love Roadhouse, the original Roadhouse.
Yeah.
I thought the new one with Conor McGregor was just shit. It was just a comic book. Fucking.
Yeah, it was like howtousesteroids.com.au.
Yeah.
They both of them look so puffed up and look like roid pancakes.
Yeah, it just And Tombstone. Tombstone is one of my favorite movies as well, with Kurt Russell. Have you seen that, Tombstone?
I think I've started, but couldn't get into it. So
yeah, you try watching it again. It's just one of my favorite movies. Anyway, let's call it a night. Show is still going. Yes, it is, Alex, but we're going to call it. We can answer your. After tonight, I'm going to have to hit on the postie. What? I missed. You're going to have to hit on the postie. What? I don't know. Drying out. All right. I think it's time to call it a night. Share, subscribe, and if you don't want to, what is that? You can't do that hand signal. Share, subscribe, and if you don't want to, it's not mandated.
As long as you wiggle it, it's okay.
Yeah, just a little bit. And good night.